Under 17 million tonight. Oh, my boy is a victory tonight. Get the lens, box the nation, get the lens, box the nation, get the lens, support Lady Gambia. Singing for the Gambia, we have now my new mafia. Check out the can and Bella, full of fire. Come on, come on,
the flight.
That then fell to 6 after an intervention from the European court. As recently as 15 minutes ago, it is down to 4, and in the last couple of minutes, it is now particularly frustrated at the European court.
Okay. Hello, guys. Welcome to the Citizens Network Gambia. It's been a while, and it's nice seeing you again. As usual, it's always a pleasure to have you on board. Tonight, we've got a lot of things to go through. I know, but we'll just try our best to see what we can go through. I know the headline says is Tom Saintfiet a good fit for Gambian football, Gambian coach, but we will have to go through a lot more other things. So without wasting your time, I would start with Baba. Baba, dama start yo in terms of games soon jota playing. I think Setanga game against South Sudan, and then the game against Congo. What are your overall analysis of those two games?
First of all, assalamu alaikum. Everybody. It's nice or good to have me back. Games you must set with the national team, not only with South Sudan, how to call it again, at Congo. Gambia send game all the time, especially the last from Cameroon. Watch us. You don't want to watch Gambia's game when Sufekene there's not 20 minutes or half an hour per game because then they have too many pressure of you know what I mean. But game buma set and come no last two games we go on those games. Against South Sudan. We all just coach bisi bopam South Sudan send coach bisi bopam he came 10 years they've only won one game. In 10 years they only won one game. Ñun at Gambia, yes, Fatu Wolobi ñun Gambia buñ jógee won the African Cup of Nations ñu ñëw. And then ñu am team boo xam ne ñoom ñu ne seen coach bi si boppam mu ne 10 years ñoom benn game la 10 years because nit ñi dañ leen dee jaawaale ak Sudan because they are South Sudan so ñu bari dañ dee foog ne Sudan la if you understand. Okay, so ñu am team boobu noonu even with that team we still have to go with a defensive fixture against a team boo xam ne loolu xam nga ko kuma waxee mooy ne team boo xam ne 10 years benn game lañ win ñun nga xam ne ñun we are better off because ñun dañ jógee AFCON so ñun team boobu noonu dañ war a ñëw ñu woon ne liste ñun duñ ñëw di fi maslaha ak yéen dañoo ñëw ñu dóor leen ñu jaala soo gisee Man City ñuy win premiership bi Man City su amee ay Newcastle expect leen ne buutee la ne lañ jox 5 goals wala 6 goals ñu toog ñu relax Man City su amee Watford ak yooyu noonu ñoom Watford ñoom Brighton ñoom ñii nii de leen dee dóor dañ bugga leen a rey parce que ñoo leen ëppa doole kii bi soo ko ëppee doole danga ko wone you understand so ñun fixo buñ ñëwee against South Sudan lu tax ñu war a ñëw against South Sudan team boo xam ne ba pare lu si gën a bon we went with South Sudan ñu ngi doon struggle ñu seetaan match bi yëpp gis ne dañ lucky woon pour win game boobu noonu waaye South Sudan mun na ñëw win that game South Sudan buñ doon play with Mali they got one man down why even though with one man down dañ won ñi ne we are bigger because Mali is big Mali dañ leen won ne listen ñun ñoo leen gën a mature when it comes to competition yi yëpp so we ne ñu ñoo leen mun ñu dóor leen with one man down they went 3-1 so buñ jógee woon si South Sudan we came to the Congo game as well Congo game is the same thing because ñun yëpp xam nañ ne obviously coach bi benn système rek la amee man bañ wax sa système bi na ba because coach bu nekk da nga am sa système bo gis nga game su moo dem da ngay read game nga change nga towards the game bi lu mu laajte da nga ko mun a jox team bu nekk da ngay mun a am sa starting fixture loo dee ñëw coach mu fi sana mu fi moom xam na you can do mun ngaa dooree 3-5-2 mun ngaa dooree 4-4-2 mun ngaa dooree whatever but in the game di nga gis a situation boo xam ne ok léegi lu ñoo def mooy ne su ñoo dem back 3 te ñu ngi gis ne the opponent team ñu ngi am ay flank player yoo xam ne duñ dee waaca obviously back 3 système boobu dañ koo tas den nga indi nga change ko nga def ko 4-4-2 because da nga xam ne da ba team boobu noonu seen flank player yi duñ dee waaca this is loolu ku ko waxut ke nit sax da nga ko war a xam like the coach what he did yow man ma xam ne nekkuma coach with a little experience I got in football experience mo am si football if a striker is not well striker su fekkee ne dara jotu ko mu ngi play mënuloo génne striker di indi a striker kan mooy def loolu ban façon ngi coach mooy def loolu noonu if at all Assam was okay mu ngi injured or dafa demand a changes or so yes you can do that okay yow time bu Assam di ñëw pour nga dugal Assam we still got like ñi ngi amoon Timba Rakam si gannaaw ñi ngi am Timba si gannaaw ñi ngi am Gomez si gannaaw ñu ngi am halfback left boobu noonu Touré si gannaaw yeah that's 4 yeah then ñu amaat Solmar si kanam ñooñu ñu am ndoo boobu noonu Jaguar boobu noonu si kanam ñooñu so which means we have almost about 6 players ñoo xam ne ñu ngi si gannaaw for what reason yow ñu ngi 1-0 down instead yow nga sacrifice one of them defenders nga génne leen and you muna attack them pour score a goal but still it's like you don't even care why do you need in fact man luma jaaxal si coach bi okay dafa am all these defensive fixtures and everything but still ñun we still concede goals ba pare duñ dee mun a defend ak defender Burundo boobu noonu yëpp defender yu paquet yooyu noonu yëpp si gannaaw yeah Gambia sooy seetaan seen game seen last 20 minutes of the game doo ko dee bugg a seetaan danga dee bugg a rek match bi mu gaaw mu jee parce que because of pressure buñ dee am daf dee too much last minute yooyu ñi about 3 goals lañ amoon buñ waroon na jël clear chances beneen bi mooy kii bu mu defoon si baa bi pam mu génn si loolu clear goal la woon waaye mënuma understand with ak suñ 7-8 defenders yooyu noonu yëpp sax ñun still teams yi dañoo ñëw ñu penetrate defense boobu noonu so which means that yow as a coach nekkuloo di organize that defense line how to defend properly or how to ba pare one mistake la coach bi def loo xam ne man I cannot even accept it mooy neneen yow naka nga xamee ne that James Gomez is one of Gambia's best defenders so far si that gannaaw boobu noonu bu mu dooree di ñëw he's one of our best central defenders buñ jot a am ok yow nga am sa best central defender nga koo génnee si central bi di ko move si halfback bi ak bañu ma ne on a club level that they play halfback yeah it's fine that's club level because boobu am nga time to prepare sa boppa next game prepare what sa boppa next game because you have more than how many games league game home and away whatever but with the national team amuloo time to prepare key on a halfback pour mu mun a déggoo ak central players yi pour mu dem so loon seetaanee game bi loolu daf ñu sonal because he is not a typical halfback player koo xam ne ne all his national team caps he was playing on a central obviously suñ amee ab yaba si halfback bi you mun na koo génnee si central bi nga move ko foofu noonu pour mu dem fata that problem why the problem is we have an halfback right koo xam ne loolu nga ko ooyee pour mu ñëw mu play halfback ba pare trosuloo ko waaye at the end of the day yow suñ changes boo yaaxa loolu la mujjee def because dafa yaaxa changes bi mu indi that halfback waat mu def ko play ko halfback te yow noonu nga war a dooree ba pare bu mu defee loolu bu mu play halfback boobu halfback mu ngi bëggoon gaay dem with a 3-5-2 but that 3-5-2 mënut a dem because lu xew mooy ne flank player boobu noonu still bëggut a wàcca flank player Congo bi du dee wàcca so he have to force this halfback to stay halfback boobu stay na Gomez stay na Timba stay na Omar Koli stay na Touré Ibu Touré stay na then seulement mu si kanami ñooñu noonu Jaguar mu ngi play why do you need all those players si gannaaw noonu ñëw we are struggling 1-0 boy so anyway man naa di abo danja na ko yo dol so fana dum ñeneen ñu duga ñu xool ñu debate ko because man I just don't get it I don't understand it loo xam ne man bañu ma nekk di coach yes you have your own fixture to play but game ni moo demee like coach yi àdduna bi yëpp xam ne loolu noonu so you play 10 defenders sax and then you lose in 1-0 boy yaa ngi lose boy da nga change sa fixture bi nga indi more of an attacking players nga sacrifice ñaar ñetti defender yëpp génnee leen ñu si des yëpp béeke attacking players pour ñu génnee that 1-0 waaye yow dañ laa 1-0 down and you still having defenders there looy defendaat yow ñu la lead lan ngaay defense si gannaaw boobu ba pare sooy defense sax da ngay am a strategy da ngay am like sana coach da ngay am a strategy boo xam ne ok let's say léegi dañu am game plan ne leen defend and then su amee ball bi ñu counter ñun amuñ plan amuñ dara duñ counter duñ create chance I just don't get it. Has been winning, that's fine. But so say the football game ni ñoo play war nga xam ne na boy ñun dañoo win ak chance rek or whatsoever because pour ñu football play win no so I'm making it.
All right, thank you, Musad. Welcome, coach. There is a common saying in football that you don't change your winning team. So by hell, mom dafa them at the same team what against Congo. And then anga by hell forgetting some of our players am na ñoo xam ne nekkuntoon ne am game times and club levels. So looking at that, do you think in hindsight loolu la waroon a def or dafa waroon a freshen team be up in your own opinion? yaa ngi mute.
Wow.
Oh, sorry, because hanga baba suma wa dama de mute suma side. Because mo su dore wa mo boy bakaw la do de bay. Anyway, mangla nuyu bro, di nuyu baba. Lamin Dahaba mangla nuyu yow you know, suma brother Habib. Mangla ziar gainde, you know, di nuyu yep ñu setan. Actually, it's from a coaching point of view. I think the team needs it needs a reshape because people can look at those two games from a different angle. But I, for one, I have saw this coming. You know, I think in few of the talk shows that I had, did mention Tom Bugadev is not sustainable. It's not really sustainable at the national level. I have to respect his strategy, his philosophy, But from a coaching point of view, we all should agree. Man, I believe it is not sustainable. You can do it one or twice, and then 3 times you get away with it, but it's not something that is sustainable. So, am I surprised? No, I'm not surprised that we are heading into this direction. Simply because the writings were right there on the wall. So, Hole Timbi against Cameroon when we played, it was totally completely team behind it wasn't well organized. And ñu jógee foofu ñëw ne preliminary rounds we were lucky to get away with it. And even whereas we are playing with a team that we are so scared of the Gambia, but we still did not understand that we at some point there are teams that we have to get on from the first minute of the game. We have to get on top of them. Could be usually the one they criticize coach, and I'm not going to criticize. I'm only going to share my opinion, what I think. But I think that the pour man dafa dëgër boppa dafa really dëgër boppa. If he wants to go away with that, it's going to be difficult for him, and he's going to put the country in a very, very funny situation. Ñun going with the winning team, it comes with a lot of qualities. One, you need to have players who are playing week in, week out. You know how many physically they are physically fit. They are mentally ready to take up the challenge. I mean, every 72 hours. And then, but it's the opposite in our national team. So some of our players, they don't have a playing time. You know what I mean? And then it's really going to be very, very difficult for you to keep those players playing like in every 4 days or 5 days, because physically match fitness, and I think that has to Lolumge helps in a very complicated area in the pitch. That's in midfield. Basically, that's one of the biggest problems we had that the coach needs to tackle. But so Malajan and that he needs to change the personalities, the personnel in the team. I said yes, he definitely deserves the team to change because it's important. It is you need to believe in the players you have. There are some very good players out there that are playing, that are doing really, really well. But it seems like Baba said, one key important word: trust. You need to trust them to put them on the pitch. But he don't. Do they react? Tom is a coach, but do react until when the damage has started coming. So, and then I think can we be all the time on the on coming from the losing side all the time just to try to score and probably win? It's not always going to be on our way. So it's a dangerous situation we have right now. Very, very dangerous, very delicate. You look at it at a coaching point of view. I mean, Mali are the favorites in that group. So obviously, Gambia going into that game, winning our first game, which is important. On Purman, Congo lost to Mali would have been like a game changer. Man, Luma Fogon Moy, that's a final that the Gambia has to play. Biri Congo we all knew it's going to be difficult. And how many in advance that they don't play on a surface? It's a bad surface. We all knew about that. So going into that game, I mean, you needed to bring in players that they are physically fit. Even players that they are physically fit, they play week in, week out, they will struggle to play on that pitch. Moreover, in the players you have, they are not in game time with their clubs. I'm not the 10 minutes then play. I'm not the 48 minutes then play for the whole season. You still had to put them there, and it's difficult. And one thing Munge kill this team that we have to understand. We did talk about leadership. I'm not seeing leadership in that team, and it is one area that I think we need to. I'm in captaincy team B, but I don't think we have leaders. If not, some of the things that is happening on the pitch, they could easily step up. I think I would do not agree at Baba. The coach used to have Guinea James say center back, because the right back way, But I think from a coaching point of view, trusted the right back until when he knew that the things are wrong. So he's gonna bring him. That's fine. Players, some of the players needs to step up. James is an amazing talent. If he's not comfortable of playing certain position for the country, he needs to make it clear. But there are certain performances are not acceptable, especially with the quality of James. I think he struggles both 2 games, first game and second game, struggle now, and I think it's really important for us to for the coach to look at there. You have natural right back players. Nothing wrong with playing with them. Those are the materials you have. Those are the materials you choose to have. You know, so it is up to him now to sit back and post-mortem the whole thing. Not only these 2 games, but more post-mortem the last 5 games the Gambia play. How does it go? It's really, really important. On last 5 games, the league. Are we improving or are we going down? If you ask me performance-wise, I think we are going down. And we can't. The strategy we don't employ the national team is going to be very difficult for any striker to play in. Any Musabaro, Asan Cisse Torres, it's going to be very, very difficult for us to play in and score goals. We all saw it in the qualifiers. We were banging on Asan Cisse too much. He did his job. No, AFCON, we were like relying on individual brilliance. If Jamano doesn't show those individual brilliance at some part of the game, it's going to be difficult. Musa Barrow step up in few times. But how many interplay does the team have to send and we pose a lot of threat towards our opponents? It's something that we need to look at critically. And I think once we do, the coach decided to do that, listening to people, listen to his technicians, and football that they evolve. Game A and game B, the way you approach those 2 games is going to be different because you have different opponents. But you cannot stick to one way of play all the time. It's not going to help.
Thank you, Coach. Mr. Dahaba Lamin. So,
Yes.
in hindsight, what do you think? Should he have done the same thing? Because we don't want to be blaming any players here. But if you look at the goal in Congo, the goal that we conceded, whether tiredness is a factor. But if you look at the goal, I think that goal could have been avoided. I think it was Jaguar who threw in a lazy leg. In fact, he could have closed the man down, but he had so much time on the ball to shoot on goal. Do you think the coach got it right? Obviously, he lost. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, so I would say like in that Congo game, when you look at that Congo game, coach, to me, you've got to blame the coach at the same time. You have to look at the other side as well, which is in terms of the players' condition as well. First of all, as coach was saying, Coach Sana was saying, you got to look at the team players that are in good conditions, like in good shape, playing week in, week out, and play them, and play them in a competition like this, qualifiers, so you got like 72 hours to use them, right? So in my opinion, first of all, coach has done is wrong on that side. He bringing players that are not playing. We don't see them playing games. Especially especially like the system is playing defensive system, and you're playing defenders that are not even fit. Is it Buba? What's his name again? The one that was playing center half with Collie.
Yeah, Bouba.
Yeah?
Boubacar, yeah.
Boubacar, I don't see him playing. I don't think he's fit enough. I like him as a player. I've seen him playing, before, but I think Gomez deserves to play that position than Buba. Is the coach talking? Hello.
Continue.
Yeah. So I think Gomez should be given a chance to play there. Gomez is much more fitted to play on that center half position than the right back. When you come to the right back, you've got you've got players to cover you. Like even the centre half they can even cover you when you lose the ball. You know what I mean? We've seen like this stage football has changed. Yeah? So players playing on the right back and the left back position, they have the freedom to go to go up front and assist goals or even score goals. You know, and they always get covered by the players behind them, which are the centre halves. You know what I mean? Or even like the midfielders. You know, so in that aspect, I think it's wrong in that aspect. But also, like we are gonna have to be honest and look at the other aspect, which is the time period that they play the first game and the second game. You know, it's 3 days, isn't it? It's within 3 days, right? So in that 3 days, they have to travel like two different countries? They have to they have to leave Senegal to Morocco, and then Morocco to Congo, isn't it? Yeah, and they landed like within 24 hours. From what I understand, I think they land like 24 hours before the game. So I don't think that was that. I mean, the condition was good enough for them. Obviously, we knew the players are going to get tired, but again, he still stick with the same players that he played, the same player that struggled with a very low sort of like a low, not rank. I wouldn't say rank, a very inexperienced team. Do you know what I mean? A very inexperienced team, and you stick. You couldn't see that, like to change your tactics or to change the formation or to change players and bring it. At least he should bring 2, 3, or he should do like 3, 4 changes in my opinion in that game against Congo. We know we have no excuses, yeah, not to get a point against Congo with the quality we have in that team. Absolutely zero excuse, you know. Even if you have I mean like a Gambia Division 1 manager, yeah, should be able to manage the team, lead the team to pick a point against Congo. You know, Congo. I looked at Congo's team. I checked their players. You know, none of their players are playing better leagues from Gambia's 11. Yeah, if you look at the Gambia's first 11, yeah, Gambia's first 11, all the players playing the first 11 playing better league. They're playing better league than Congo. Most of the Congolese players are playing in Turkey. They're playing in some very very low rank leagues. You know, a very low rank leagues. You know, they don't even have, the only players that you recognize players are the players that are playing in France, and they're playing in France second division. It's not even like they're playing in French top league. You know, how could that team play against Gambia and beat Gambia? You know, a team that went to African Cup of Nations, you know, terrorizing top nations there. Even the players, like I spoke to a couple of players in Cameroon, they're telling me like your team is the future. You know, that country, you guys got the future. But we know, everyone knows that we know that us Gambians, we know that the mindset of the players, yeah, the mindset of the players we have. Seriously, if we have the right people to guide them, believe me, we're not going to be the position we are, and we shouldn't be in the position we are. You know, we shouldn't be the position we are. But for me, like I feel like the management really need to be checked. The management it's a big question mark in the management, because it's going to be a concern for us to qualify if we struggle against Sudan, going to Congo, lost in Congo, and playing against team like Mali winning, was it 4-1 or 3-1 against Sudan, inside Sudan, their home, yeah, with minus one player, you know, winning 3-1, and then Gambia facing a team like that, a high scoring team like Mali, and we're going there to play what? We're going there to play 5 defenders against Mali. What chance do you have defending against Mali, a team that's playing like a free flow football? They just play. They just attack. They playing to score and win. That's what they're playing. You know. And who is Mali's manager? Who is Mali's manager? It's just a local based manager. Do you know what I mean? So for me, like going going to take a foreign manager, a manager who doesn't even come to the country, don't even check our Gambian football. You know, he's not interested. Literally.
Yeah, Lamin, we'll go into that. I'm just gonna continue there. We've got some other discourse. We'll have to go into the coach affairs as well. Musa, Habibi. Yang wa mangi ba nakam.
Why? Nah, I demonstrate might start, you know.
Well, so voice bank ko one is so so money.
Chani.
Sol yangi off camera de.
I'm not long dohal fit you know. Balaga di ma jay bay ma def lolou pare.
Wow, okay, no worries. So Habibi, so by a health team bi legi. Dafa melni team is starting and find out, did you find out the people joge sa AFCON bi? Because so by health team in Dawi, well, so-called team in Dawi, man, I still think the team Bundawilen, you know, African powerhouse, how much fun lol. But come so by hell like Djibouti qualifiers, they play attacking football. But then you saw now.
Yeah.
Nga ñew chat ñaari games yi chat first game bi man foog naa ne dañu over na respect xëj na den ragaloon or whatever then second game bi gars yi ñëw buñ ñëwee buñ ñu songee and that's it. Congo buñ demee Congo you could clearly see from the onset even balaa ñoo dem Congo so South Sudan any other day they could have scored so amoon a good finishes they could have actually win that game.
Easy.
Nga ñëw nga dem si game Congo bi the same thing. Congo from the onset, then you start the song. Amud Ben Lini. Fogna the first half be amud shot on target, sir.
Even a corner.
Well, okay. Even a corner munun ko am. So going forward, yo law for coach below la def. Is it going to the continue the same system or what need the joy to not play expansive football? Or is it team is capable to play that expansive football because defensively some we can be a suspect. So going forward,
yeah, I think on a serious note, could be as a coach. So I'm with the options. It explains a lot about you. I think as a coach, you have to approach every game differently depending on the opponent you are playing. So I think Gambia we have put ourselves in a platform where teams like Congo or South Sudan shouldn't be giving us too much of a problem because we have very, very good players, especially forward players. I think the strength of the national team is the forward players. We got bunch of forward players, especially wing players. And in modern day football, if you have very good wing players and wing backs, I think you can hurt any team. But looking at the coach's CV from his previous job, explain a lot about his management skill or his technical abilities because apart from the Gambia, all his other previous jobs, we all have seen that he struggled to win games. He struggled to, he never qualified to any tournament or whatsoever. So it means he is not the best of coaches because I could easily remember when he came to Gambia and then he was given a contract. Our people said this guy is the cheapest coach available. I can still remember that line. So meaning we appointed him not based on he's the best technically or tactically. He was appointed because he is the cheapest European coach we can have at that particular time because, Africa, sometimes we are obsessed with having foreign coach. And then they brought this guy who is just any other coach. He's nothing special about Tom. With due respect to him, he's just any other coach. And talking about this poor performances, this thing has been knocking. It has been coming, even in the AFCON. If you look at our game against Tunisia, It was a one-sided game. Tunisia was the better team, despite the fact that half of their team didn't play, almost 13 players. If you look at our game against Mali, it was not the best of games. Mali was on top of us. So, but the moment we score a goal or we equalize or we win, people tend to ignore some of the shortcomings that were in those games. We just go with the hype and celebrate. Yes, we have to, because it was the first time going to the AFCON. So any points or any goals or wins counts a lot to us because we are a small nation. But after the AFCON, that trend continued. If you look at our game against Chad, we were minutes away from not being part of the group stage. It was a poor performance from the team, and I remember the coach, the Chadian coach, was saying the first leg against Gambia, he was kind of scared. Hey, it's Gambia. They are from the AFCON quarterfinalists. They beat Tunisia. They beat Guinea. So we almost played on his mind. But come the second leg, he just asked his team to go and attack the Gambia. And any team that attacked the Gambia from the first whistle, we struggled. We really struggled. Even if you look at the game against South Sudan, they wanted to come in there and hanging in the game, hanging. First half, their target was to go on a scoreless first half, and then in the second half, they will try to manage the game. But luckily, we scored in the 43rd minute. It changed their game plan. But if you look at the second half, immediately they put more men forward and they pin us up front, and we struggled to put the ball out. So it was one of those worst poor performances, from the second half. So on a serious note, the coach have only two options: either to try and change the way we play, or he might get the sack. Nobody wants him to get sacked, but at this point, we are not accepting mediocre performances regularly. It's very difficult to watch the Gambia. You will be under pressure entirely. Imagine playing against normal Congo, even a corner, you cannot get it. That was unacceptable. Having players like Musa Baro, Jamano, Bambalai, the list goes on. So I think coach has to step up. He has to change his way of playing. There is no pattern when it comes to our national team. Playing three midfield defensive against Congo, then how do we expect him to play against tougher opposition like Mali and others? If you are playing three midfield defensive against a team of like South Sudan, come on. What is Tom trying to achieve? And these are some of the reasons why our top players cannot even move to bigger clubs, because had it been we were playing more expansive or attacking football, maybe people like Musa Baro could have even scored more goals in the AFCON, or Jamano, or Modu Baro, or any other fourth place. But the fact that we are playing really defensive football, it makes it difficult for the fourth players to enjoy the game. For example, immediately after the AFCON, Torres went back to his club and he was on fire. He was scoring goals for fun. So meaning, the problem is not the players, it's the tactics. It's the tactics, because the coach is very particular about points. 1 point or 3 points. He's more of a trying to achieve his own ambition, like, I have the best CV with the Gambia. Because if you look at the coach's press conferences, he will always try to reflect on the past. He will talk about, I am the first coach in the Gambia. Before I came, 5 years they don't win, and this coach never give any credit to our previous coaches. Never he will mention Paul Put or even Sangdong or anybody. He will always try and take all the credit, like he is the savior, not forgetting that his first spell with the Gambia wasn't good. He should have been sacked. But we said, okay, let's give him a chance. He's forgetting that we gave him a second chance to realize this qualification. But he will always talk about himself. So on a serious note, I think he should change, because this kind of approach, if you do this against Mali, they might punish you, because they have very good players, experience, and playing at the highest level. Tom is a coach that is difficult to understand what he is trying to achieve. He will pick players that he likes. There is no criteria that Tom is using to pick national team. Me and you cannot tell you because he will drop very good players with minutes in their belts, and he will choose players who are not playing for very for a very long time.
Yeah,
If,
actually, he did an interview with the GFF media. I would have loved to play that interview where he talked
so
about the
okay,
yeah. But
if you use players on a back-to-back game, who those players are not having the minutes required to keep up with that pace, and I understand that their traveling wasn't the best of travels because from there was a time they had some transit and it was not very convenient for the players. So you want to use the same 11 in a couple of 5 6 days, and some of those players are not physically ready because they didn't have the minutes needed to play those kind of games. So what do you expect? Tiredness. These players are human beings. Even like Sana said, even if the players were playing game in, game out, it would have been still difficult to play a back-to-back game. So how on earth can Tom do such a thing? Using the same players to play against Congo on it. Some guy might say, no, I'm gonna buy coach, believe the coach alone. He's the first guy to come to Gambia and then blah blah. I said, hey, football is not only based on history. It's a continuous process. What happened in the past is the past. We want to continue. And I think 99% of Gambians want to see the team in Ivory Coast. But with the way we are playing, absolutely it's not looking good. It's still doable because it's just 2 matches. We have at least 4 matches to go, but not not with this kind of performance. The coach has to change. He has to change and he has to allow the boys to play. Unleash them. Let them play according to their potential. They can do it. Imagine last time I was at Africa Radio and Rasmussen was just reminding me of the players that didn't come to this camp. Ras named a team that can almost compete or beat this current team that was playing with South Sudan and Congo because he was talking about Chuka is not in the team. He's playing regularly in Sudan. Imagine you partners Chuka and let's say Noah Sonko. You have Saigon Janko there. You have the Hamzas, you have the Azana Manes, you have the Steves, Ali Sow. You name them, Modu Baro. You can easily name this boy, Yusuf Njai. You can easily name a very solid 11, Sirif Sinyan. The list goes on. So it's about just the coach picking the right players for the right positions and stuff, and then we are safe. Even whereby we lose, you could say, okay, these are the best available players for the national team. But you cannot win all your games, which is normal. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you draw. But the fact that you are dropping the better players and allowing players without club or without minutes to come to the national team, you allowing people like myself and others to criticize you because I don't believe in that.
Exactly, Lola. That's one important thing that I want to say. We cannot be criticizing players that are not having minutes with their club for not performing. It is not right because they are not playing. So who do you blame? I'm going to take the blame as a coach. You blame the coach because he is not picking up the right players that are mentally ready, players that are physically ready to be playing our national team. He has a track record of picking players that are not competing. So obviously, if anything backfires, it's going to go back to him because if he was making right decisions in selecting players based on merits, there are players left out or players that excuse themselves from the national team, they will be playing. Because let me tell you this very clearly and honestly. Some of the players are declining national call not because they don't want to play for the country, but because of the injustice in the team. That's why they are not coming. Let that be clear. And those have rights. Nobody didn't wonder why they have to come this national team. If a player feels that he's not trusted by the coach or he's not trusted to play, and he could play somewhere, and better, what do you think he should do? Let's put ourselves into their own shoes. I know specific players, they are not happy with the way they've been treated in the national team. And it wasn't a surprise to me that AFCON, some of these players excused themselves from the national team. I wasn't surprised.
Yeah, so Habibi talked about changing the system and then playing in a different way. But do you think we have the players to be able to adapt to?
No, in fact, before Saul will come in, I'll just add up. Look at the game we played against Guinea in the AFCON. Look at our performance against Guinea. The players were unleashed. We played one of the best games we have seen our national team played in modern era. I don't remember seeing the Gambia being so dominant, especially against a Guinea side, our local rivals, in an AFCON competition where the stakes are higher. We played extremely good. We were top. We deserved to win and we won. So meaning we got what it takes to play good football. It's about time just for the coach to do it. Definitely.
Yeah,
So go ahead.
So you are made.
Saul.
Wala di day.
Yeah, man.
Ñëwal.
Nuyu naa leen waaye.
Thank you.
Man moom kay Tom kay affaire am kay mooy loolu. Dama sonn si Tom moo tax man di mu call team man beside, nobody was seeing me. I comment on it because Tom da ngaa wax ba sonn du ñu dégg,
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Go on.
nit ñi ñoo xam ne they are very close to Tom, so Tom lu mu dee wax mooy ne Gambia ni dañ bari wax dañoo kacco rek dañoo make noise rek su sonn dañoo noppi. Loolu la dee wax lu ma nekk di wax ni loolu la dee wax exactly. They will just make noise, su yàggee rek ñu noppi. So du ñu déggul, waaye foog naa man Tom léegoo-léeg sax duma ko dee blame. Ñu ko jox 5 years ñoom laa dee ñu jox Tom 5 years ñoom laa blame parce que ñoom depuis Tom mu ngi ñëw comme Habib nu ko waxee ñoom xam nañ ne Tom is not good. Tom CV am bi baaxul. Tom dëkka bu musa dem Tom musuta spend benn dëkka more than 1 year. Depuis mu ñëw Gambia I think 9 months lañ ko joxoon first contract am bi first yam bi wasn't that good, so ñu jox ko chance mu ñëwaat. So I think Tom man management skills am bi moo bon. So ñu bari ñu ngi wax Ali Tom nekkul di Ali ñu bari xamul lan moo nekk si biir. Tom want Ali to come, but Ali fooguma Ali dina play waat Gambia as far as Tom is the coach of the Gambia.
Yeah.
So ba pare leena xam naa ko si Tom place yu bari ñu dee Tom su nekkul di liggéey ak sa agent, I'm sorry for you will not be in this national team. Loolu moom kay xam naa lu ma leer la nañ. Ba pare su la choosal agent pour nga liggéey ak ko buguloo yow is all over for you. So lii yëpp mu ngi happen ba pare ñu appoint Tom, they know this, duñu wax ne xamuñ ko. Ñun duñ mun a appoint coach boo xam ne mu ngi toog Belgium du dee ñëw Gambia dafa toog Belgium match su jot moom mu jënd ticket am comme place yi ni ñoo seen gaay tickets mu mit ak place yi Belgium wala Bruxelles gaay dem xam feneen gaay dem train suñ pare mu delluwaat Belgium. Ñun dañ xam Tom lan la nekk di def Belgium te xëy na Tom mu ngi liggéey beneen liggéey Belgium mu ngi lekk suñ xaalis tamit ba pare ñun dañ jël Tom pour mu liggéeyal. So Tom dafa war a nekk Gambia liggéey ak suñu local coach yi under 20 coach under 17 coaches. Before we have seen Paul Put daf daan nekk Gambia dañ dee tase moom Serekunda is dañ dee tase moom fu nekk so man foog naa daal ñu appoint Tom man ñoom laa gën a blame Tom moom nga tactics am zéro tactics la am zéro man dama dee waxtaan ak place yi si seen boppa ñu bëri si gars yi xam nañ ne Tom xamul dara la xamul waaye gis nga place yi tam duñ mën a xam nga naka laa ko duñ mën a against lu mu wax gars pour gars yi def lu mu instruct gars yi ñoom loolu lañ dee traité pour def ko suñ nekk si biir fii so moo tax man place yi duma dee dem gars yi ñi wax na suñ place yi fituñ du loolu Tom lu mu dee put on gars yi si seen brain bi nu gars yi war a play moo bon sa coach su xamul lu mu laa wax pour nga play noonu bro soo duggee si field bi da ngaa sonal because du la allow nga play free lu bari moo nekk di dox yeneen suñ ko bëgg a wax du baax waaye I think Tom is not the right person to take us to Africa because suñ match against South Sudan man seetaan naa match bi second half dama tiit South Sudan dominate the whole second half. They were knocking the ball. They were playing like they are the big country. Just that experience in Bardes, like while soon they have experienced players or experienced strikers, they could win that game easily because you don't talk on my South Sudan, they should go. So one Sila against Congo, no chance for us. Congo lu ñu door nii nekkul surprise man xam naa ne Congo dañoo door Gambia balaa maa bi am na ñu ma waxtaanal wax naa ko gars man gaa ne Congo dañoo so I think Tom moom kay suñu mën a terminate contrat am ñu terminate ko rek balaa suñu match against Mali waaw loolu moom kay man noonu laa ko gisee daal anyway parce que Tom du change tacticien Tom naka lay bàyyi Alassane Mané nga indi ñetti midfield defender si team nga bàyyi Alassane Mané koo xam ne mu ngi play week in week out nga indi Ibrahima Dabo koo xam ne I don't know 64 minutes rek la play nga indi Solmar koo xam ne play wul benn minute nga indi Youssouf Bob koo xam ne mu ngi play Serie C very lower league Serie C la nekk di play ngay bàyyi place yoo xam ne ñu ngi play Portugal ñu ngi play Holland top league man I can understand this so nit ñi dañ dee wax ne understand Tom naka la dee pick team am bi Tom naka la dee pick team am mooy ne sa agent bi when Tom is good with your agent Tom dina la play Tom is a raba coach xaw ma xam ngeen ko wala xamuleen Tom mu ngi make money nekkul ne mu ngi coach Gambia rek si place yi sax Tom mu ngi make money on the players. So I don't know whether our authorities are aware of this, but lii mooy dëgg bi. So I think dañu war a def dara dañu war a def dara loo xam ne balaa moo too late parce que nuñ nekk di def nii because against Mali we must win at least our home game but if God forbid if Mali beat us home and away it's all over for us. No chance for us to go to Africa. So I think Tom moom kay foog naa boobu dañ ko war a push na de ñu xelaat leneen so
moom comme ñu nga wax si yëfi sélection bi dafa am benn interview bu mu defoon si GFF Lenis and explain na boppam foofu noonu and I don't know how it will sit with you but this is what he actually said.
Lu mu wax si interview bi.
Déglu mu ngi.
Why you don't put players like Alex Soros, why you don't put Simpson and other. Of course, not everybody is going to be satisfied. Everybody has their star player. But can you tell us why some of the players were not seen in Africa?
Yeah, first of all, I have to say that since I arrived in Gambia, the social media always want other players than I selected. If I select player A, they want player B. If I select player B, they want player C. If I select player C, they want player D. So it's always like that. Since I arrived, everyone was shouting for other players. And many times it's also because many people are misinformed. Ali Soy, for instance, is already 4 weeks injured. He's not playing with his club. And he's playing in Russia, but he scored 1 goal in the last 6 months. I see sometimes other numbers online and these kind of things. With all respect for Ali, but the right information, we are aware of these things. Sheriff Singyang, also a player who frequently get mentioned, is already 6 months injured. Is also not available. And so are a few of these players who the public really want or pushing for it. But they are not available. They have injuries, and sometimes the public know not really the statistics, the influences, and I think sometimes it's also unfair. People compare the players who are selected with players who are not selected, and sometimes there's disrespect for the players who are selected. We played at AFCON with a group of players, maybe not always the favorites of every person, but these players played fantastic. And maybe something what people may not forget is you can play in a club because a club coach wants you, because a club coach play a different system where you fit in, and some players don't play in their club because a club coach don't like the player, or the player is brought by a wrong agent into a club, or the coach has to use difficult tactics. So as a national team coach, you cannot select players based if they play on their club level. I prefer that my players play in club level. That's naturally always the best. But I have no control over the selection and the tactical choices of a club coach. You can be the best player for the Gambian national team, but not playing in your club because the club coach uses different tactics or has a player he likes more. And another player can play every week in his club, but not fit in the tactics of the national team, or being maybe not that committed to the national team, not having the heart on the right place.
So, Baba, dega nga lumawa fo commitment la. No, yen ñep da ngeen am lumawa. Yen ñep da ngeen am lumawa. Let's start back to Baba, and then we'll come back to you short. Commitment la mo wax fofu.
Yeah, but lu mo explain fii boy coach bi lii moo laa won ne ñun amuñ coach because dégg nga lu moo explain mu ne a player koo xam ne mu ngi player mu si club am bi and then coach am bi nekku di ko play moom mu ngi teg coach bi on the club level ñu ko play on a bench nekku di play amut game time yow as a national team coach yow you have to bring that player nga player ñu ko ban coach si Gambia si àdduna bi mooy call national team players from the bench. Because Lola explained, because of the coach, the system is playing. Probably that player is not well fit in that system that the coach is playing on the club level. Yeah. So do we only have that player, that individual player? Is he the only Gambian player playing away? Could be, is he okay? How can you select a national team player because of your nulla nehela? But the other thing is, yeah, man understand that the FF, new job could be 5 years. But you this 5 years is not breakable. But you come nyom da then sign 5 years be like Gaspar rek sul ko so legi den real fan len sul contract be you know so mun ko what lan lañu naka lañu jëlé ñun as a Gambian lu ñoo wax ak lu ñoo feel ak all what we going through ñom is like comme coach bi num ko wax ki dafa wa a b ke gis nga Gambian bi ñun or us here on the platform ken du wax coach bi ne indil Yusufa su fekkee ne Yusufa nekk di play Habib du wax coach bi ne indil Chuka su fekkee ne Chuka nekk di play moom su fekkee ne Chuka mu ngi injury kan moo xamu ne Chuka mu ngi injury Chuka dina nekk injury ñun ñu ñëw fii di bari wax di wax ne lu tax coach bi oyul Chuka oy you know if you see his interview do they wax dara loo xam ne dafa make sense because ñun we not stupid ñun duñ wax ne coach bi ne go and bring player nangam boo xam ne he's not playing amul game time or mu ngi injured ñun duñ la wax ne nga dem ko o player boobu noonu ba pare he's saying ne waaw moom su selecté A ñu ne ko su select B su selecté B ñu ne ko no man ñun we don't talk like that we talk according to football lu mu laajte ñun loolu lañ ko dee wax pour mu jox ko ceram. You get me? Why coach bi he doesn't listen to no one. Ba pare comme lu ma ko waxee this federation dañ jox coach bi right boo xam ne you know gis nga ak coach boo xam ne dafa ragal nga xam ne all right 1 2 3 games su ma ko lose rek am gone. Coach boobu nu moo play dina ko xam. Coach boobu nu moo selecté dina ko xam. Coach boobu nu moo behave when it comes to the nation dina ko xam. Because man Gambia rek laa gis coach di ñu saaga because Gambia rek laa gis ñuy call seen national team bi coach bi daf ko selecté mu jam ko ay Facebook jam ko ay Instagram jam ko fu ko neex and then mu toog fu mu ko neexee ñun sax xamuñ ne ndax mu ngi toog Belgium ndax mu ngi toog America ndax muy you know what I mean.
Nekkul America de nekkul America de
the rest of the world exactly the rest of the world ñëpp dañoo ñibbi si dëkk boo xam ne ñoo leen sign ñu respect waa dëkk bi te ñu all media bi talk ñu all everybody ñu talk ñu ne la sa 25 man squad bi coach yaa ngi all Ali Sow oyuloo kii nii na you know journalist yi jox la question nga tontu question yi nga doga now wherever the players are going to be and then you be with the players at the same camp but ñun coach bi daf ñu yab number 1 federation bi then ñu yab number 2 because ñoom dañ foog ne ñun as Gambian ñun suñ woot si or lu ñoo wax is not important because mooy loolu because ñun nekkuñ fii pour kaco coach bi ñun dañoo wax loo xam ne moo right loo xam ne loolu la football lu mu laajte boy addiya la jox ko it's simple as that you understand coach bi rek la ne gis ne Gambian coach rek ay nekk everywhere anywhere in the world and he call his national team selection and then he put it on the media you don't even know where he is at that moment. He should be in Gambia mu joxe list bi journalist yi ñu toog ñëpp toog they interview him sa selection bi dugana fii A B C D ñi nga you know nga tontu every single bit of it and then we move on. Why? And at the same time contract buñ ko jox these people they give this coach too much power and one corner. I don't know ñoom bam façon contract leen sign mu ndax contract boo xam ne it's not breakable wala I don't even understand because if a coach is not doing well sack him and then after coach the problem man my older problem is okay if this coach is out like on a game can that moment that technical side yo yen yep can ngeen fa am ko xam ne yo you know ne if he step over he's gonna win games when the coach is been red card or when the coach is not available or whatsoever because I don't see anybody ñoom Alaaji Sarr nga am si bench bi ñoom Ibu Faye ñoom Cho ñoom Marong I mean Gambia ñun we are a joke ñooñu what have they done what lan lañ xam si football ba nga xam ne okay we got proper good technician proper xam nga ñoo xam ne because loolu tax ñun change su moo am or dara su moo am foofu noonu do they materialize do they work because we don't have a proper technicians on that bench ñu ne fa am A licence ñu ne fa am B licence or whatsoever after coach boobu noonu si bench boobu noonu so loolu moo laa woon ne ñun Gambia but ñun dañoo caaxaan ñun parenguñ this is a big joke because yow bench boobu noonu itself lan nga fa gis yéen lan ngeen fa gis ñoo xam ne di ngeen wax ne non léegi moom match bi dañ ko win wane nobody man gisuma fa kenn boo xam ne daf ñoo indi loo xam ne dafa productive nobody is on that bench I can't see any proper coach or assistant coach boo xam ne mu si that bench boobu noonu kan because it's Alaaji Sarr moo fa nekk Ibu Faye ak Cho these 3 people what proper qualification lañ am boo xam ne they have to be on a national team bench pour mun a def dara pour ñun Gambia ñu mun a dem si kanam plus that coach even so coach bi su fee ñëw di wax nit ñi ne diw su play wutee si club am bi moom moo ko play moom yow suñ ko play wutee si club am bi yow nga dem playal ñu ko si national team bi loolu moo dee feeñ like you were saying here Solmar charge bu mu charge noonu it was goal bi it was easy because how many he already got dead legs Jaguar could have come and close mu intercept he already got dead legs so it could have been avoid that goal but ñoom yëpp abandé bulle what time boy because mënuloo daw si gannaaw ball bi for almost 90 minutes nga foog ne you will be fine no so nañu coach bi dimbale nañu not even the coach the federation they need to listen because this is not a joke thing ñoom dañ téye national team bi like a club level whatever they want to do they do that this coach needs to go if you lose 2-3 games on a normal football circumstance 2-3 games can lose. Gary Southgate is here. Lose na tay almost 4-0. Now lose our next 2 games. Now hold. He's going. It doesn't matter more you about England World Cup before more def England League, more def England League. Let him just lose 2 more games. Yeah, then hold. He's going because no one is
yeah, okay.
Baba,
Yeah. Baba, coach, are we overreacting? Are we going overboard? Nakala, you know, just say, look, coach, explanation on his side.
He's just trying to show his weakness because there's a lot of inconsistency about some of the things he said. But recall back to it for a minute. He did mention same thing about Steve initially. Wajibari and Steve came out. Steve came out and Mupruf wrong. If he said the players Ali is injured, Ibrahim Akoli during the AFCON, he was injured. He didn't play games, but he went to the AFCON. So who is he trying to fool here? I think he is trying to show his weakness. There are a lot of players out there. They are injured. Sidi Jago came to the AFCON injured. He doesn't play the first game, but he stood his ground and played him. Okay? So I think the whole thing here is, it is crystal clear. The writings are on the wall. The coach has a personal issue with Ali. I'm not saying he should pick Ali, but every Gambian deserves, who is playing regularly with this club, deserve a national call-up. It seems there is more to that. And this now on social media, Ali Tontu. If this Ali, I don't know, this now going for transfer. But I think what he did was like, the horror continue to ignore. Because the coach is only trying to expose his weakness. I think his man management and Nemo way about players is really, really poor. I have confronted a top GFF official on this matter. Manekone coach will not try and have justice to Bopam. Let him not talk about Gambian players in social media or on media. Because in one way or the other, those players might come back to play for the national team under somebody else. So Yen Solan come that authority, we castigate Gambian players in your they are not being called. That's not respectful. So he should desist himself from it. This is what they did. I heard him saying there, they called Alassane Mane and he refused to come. How dare you open your mouth?
Turn them into joy.
Open your mouth to say I call Alassane Mane. After all the disrespectful, or after how you disrespected that chap for the past few years, you are short, Yangtze emergency, and you want to call him for play national team? Is he honest to himself? No. We should do better than that. We said there are players that are better than Alassane Mane, that are also, equally good. Fine. You don't call the boy. The boy deserves better than what he's getting. He's playing the minutes, one of the most consistent Gambian midfielder we have. He's overlooked. That's fine. But don't go onto the media and try to castigate someone who is just innocent. That's not right. So do justice to yourself. Focus on the players that you have there. You do it because that is what you're good at. I think he should excuse himself from talking about our Gambian players, no matter what happened. And most of these players has case. They have genuine reasons. Genuine reasons. All Steve, Hamza, they all go through this. They all went through this. People talked, Dembahamna, Akenen. People talk about with the players to say, look, this is your country. We make peace. They come back. But I think he is only trying to expose. He's feeling the heat right now. And let him continue. This is his job. He's the coach. You blame Tom. because one them get talk Belgium, you do know Gambia. Let's have a second look at ourselves, please. Tom appointed Bofam, and there's what we call a TOR. In this TOR, if it is mentioned,
Bobu sa wax na si mom tam answer na that question.
But Habib can be a witness. Habib is right here, the team manager of the national team. So we had him on our platform. He said that is part of the agreement that he's going to sit in Europe. The part of Belgium. So let's stop talking about Tom. They talk Belgium. Okay, you did it. Tom no labuga. They've been done sign. One of a guy. So if the authorities accepted that for Tom, we still continue to blame Tom, then we are not fair to Tom. Our federation, no you have Gambian, see? Our own federation, no you have. Appoint somebody, he's going to sit somewhere else, he will just be a tourist coach. He's not going to select any player from the national team. So, I mean, these are things you have, man, the blame coach, they feel, it's even not fair to him.
Yeah.
This is something that I feel.
Yeah, okay. Lamin, a quick one. What's your reaction on that? After I'll just
Okay, yeah. Once again, like as we're talking about the coach, like Coach Sana talking about our authorities appointing Tom. When you're looking at appointing Tom, first of all, what comes into their mind to give me a 5-year deal? A manager that never stays in any of his jobs over a year, and you're giving him a 5-year deal. Yeah, you basically give him a jackpot, because now literally he can do whatever he wants, because if we have to get rid of him, we have to pay him off, to leave the job. Now Tom is selecting players based on the players that whatever reason he's doing, I don't know, as we said, like, so coming to the games the games that we're facing now he actually put himself into a very critical situation, on the games that we're going to play. We got Mali home and away, isn't it? Yeah, Mali at home and Mali away. Yeah, right. We're not playing at home. We're playing in Senegal. Yeah, you Baba saying you doing your team selection, sitting anywhere, whichever country he is, we don't know. He doesn't have access to the media, the Gambia media. He just does whatever he feels like, and the GFA giving him that authority to do it. And I believe that's the responsibility of our football authorities to tell the manager to come to the country and face the media whilst he's given his team selection, and that should be done. But he's not doing none of that. He'll just name any team or any players and post on social media. Then we can just sit there sending messages, or just spread the message all over the media platform, talking about Tom, talking about. I mean, for me, like, my opinion, I don't think that will help anything, because he knows he can see them anyway. As he just said, he said, like, every time he posts, he named the squad. People talk on the social media, says he's doing wrong. Do you know what I mean? But Tom himself knows that he knows what he's doing anyway. But what can we do now? We can't do nothing. We have to blame ourselves. We have to blame our authorities that, I mean, choose to give him a 5-year deal, and they give him all the privilege to do whatever he feels like doing. He can sit in Belgium, select the team that he wants to select. And whilst he got, I mean, me personally, the team that Gambia have right now, to be honest, I don't see any team that we should fear, in Africa. Even Senegal, we have the potential to play
that's a
against
big
Senegal.
statement,
No, seriously, I'm telling you, we have.
Yeah.
Trust me, we bro. Like, if you look at the players we have, Even Habib naming the players that are not selected. The players that are not selected in these last 2 games, yeah, bringing those players plus the players he selected on this team. I'm telling you, if you have the right manager, we will challenge any team we played against. I'm telling you. But his man management is really, really poor. And this is not the first thing I've had. I've had of players that he managed them before, and he had problem with them personally. It's not even about the team. He has problem with the players. I'm telling you that personally, he has problem with them. One player from Togo, I've been friends with him for years because he managed Togo before. He said to me, this manager is not good. He's not good with players. And the player went to Gambia, he scored against Gambia in Gambia. We beat Gambia 1-0. When we played them in AFCON qualifiers, remember? That the last AFCON that we failed to qualify. That the same player, he went to Gambia, he played against Gambia and scored against Gambia. We lost that game. We couldn't qualify.
He even had a problem with Adebayo too. The time he was in Togo.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. So the man scored. He got problems. He has problems. He has problems in different areas. He will. He kind of like he like to dictate players when players are when he has players in the team. He dictate them. He will tell them to do what he feels like. He doesn't look at the players their capability of what they can do. He just decided whatever he feel like this is best for him.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I think the manager that for me is not for me, I would say.
Yeah. I just want us to quickly do this, Sol and Musa. Then after I've got just one more last question because I don't want to keep you guys longer than this. Musa, what's your reaction on what the coach said about the selection? That's what basically what he's saying is he is actually looking for players who are actually committed to the cause, and you have to give him the benefit of the doubt. If he feels like these are the players that he can go to war with, then fair play to him. So you can't, we can say what we want, but at the end of the day, he's the one managing the team.
The same.
Yeah, go
Yes.
on.
Yes. Tom can say whatever he likes because he's the coach. He can pick any player he likes because he has absolute power. But he also cannot control what other people think about the team. That's how it goes. Not only with him, globally. Football goes with punditry. People will analyze post games and stuff. So he is a guy who always plan ahead. What I mean by that, he always know how to answer questions to defend his actions. But entirely globally, we all know that football has its own ethics and how to go about it. And some of those things is the player have to be ready. We all know that. You have to be ready physically, mentally, and you have to be competing at the highest level to be in national team. We all have seen Martial and others. They couldn't make it in the French national team, not because they are not good enough, because they are not on top form and they are struggling to have minutes with their clubs. So what Tom is saying is total BS. I'm sorry, And then the fact that he was doing some outrageous team selection and we keep scoring a last gap winner and fans will jubilate, forgetting that this was a very risky approach. At the end of the day, a day like this will come where he will pick the team wrongly and then we get humiliated. And this is the time Gambians will start to make noise. Oh, Tom has to go, Tom has to go. No, it's not about Tom has to go. It's about Tom changing for the better. And changing for the better includes inviting the right players who are ready, competing. Because in football, we all know that players are losing their touch. If you don't play for a while, you lose your touch. So this is happening to us. And then if you can invite a player who is clubless, come on. This same coach was talking about Steve Traoré playing in China. And all of a sudden, from China. This coach is picking a player from Bangladesh. And in Bangladesh, the two of the best players in that league, one is a Gambia, and which is Solomon Kamfode and one guy from Venezuela. They are the two players that the media is hyping that they are the two best players in the league. So you went to Bangladesh. You didn't pick the best players. You picked Noah. Noah is not a bad player, but there are better players than Noah. And not from the beginning, you are talking about China, and you all know the Chinese league is miles ahead of this league from Bangladesh. So is this same Tom lying to Gambian people on a consistent basis? He's a liar. This guy can lie. Trust me. And look,
You're a liar, big time.
he's a liar.
Big time.
He is a liar. And one thing I hate about his attitude, he will try to put players under the bus. But Gambians are so smart now, he cannot make us to hate our players. Because it's just a matter of time, he will leave us with these players. These players are Gambians, born and grown up. They play Warga and Naweta. They are 100% Gambian. He cannot make us to hate them like he did the last time. He went on a press conference and talked about Alsana Mane. You don't value Alsana Mane. You don't like him. You don't like his playing style. Now all your players were out of the team. Now you want to invite him last minute when the boy already have other ideas. And then you went on a press conference saying that, hey, this boy, we call him, but he refused to come. That's a very misleading statement. Very misleading. Tom is a big liar. This is one of the reasons why he will not face the Gambian media. Imagine sending our journalists audios. He will send them audios 2 minutes 30 seconds, 2 minutes 45 seconds, maximum 3 on audio. WhatsApp audio messages. This is how he is doing. I even told those guys, if this guy want to come on a StreamYard or Zoom to talk about the game, do not allow him to send you this shit. It's shit. He gives no regards to you people, sending you audio. Come on. He's a liar. This guy can lie. I saw he sent messages to Gamfoot saying that I will take you to court. I'll call my lawyer. You never come to Gambia and... Yeah, I saw the messages. If you are employed by a country, a whole country, you have to show some love. Show love.
Are
Come
you
to
serious
Gambia
about
at
this?
least. No, come to Gambia at least. Spend sometimes 1 or 2 months.
No, I mean,
Watch the
calling,
league.
texting Gumfood and threatening
I saw it.
them to call.
Gumfoot, that boy, he's my youth. We are in contact. He saw me all the messages. But the good thing about Gumfoot, he's not scared. He's a tobacco kid. He has nothing to scare. he has his own way of doing it, and Tom don't like it. He don't like it, and he's seen Gareth Southgate from England. He get attacked by the media on the moment England played, and they didn't play well. Aliou Cisse is the champion of Africa. Every Senegalese game, he will go and meet the press. They will ask him genuine question. Why Sanayafa isn't in the team? Why? Why do you include Saul? He will explain to the people.
Thank you, Habib. Thank you very much. This is what I was trying to explain. I'm sorry, I'm not cutting you off, yeah. But Manluma Jismoenene, this coach, only that GFF media, that boy, that dickhead there, Kokunonu, Kokureka could interview. So is he the only journalist in the whole world?
Baba.
Don't get
This is my point. This is the thing here. To fake in the GFF tamit, ñom ñoo nekk di protect Tom. Feel like ñom all this media, I'm right on Tom. How do you expect Tom Lola more than? So don't put the blame on the Tom is having what he wants.
Yeah.
The GFF are happy with it. That's fine.
But we got more than how many journalists in Gambia?
Let's blame the federation. Gambian journalists in that feel like what I want to send Bopa, send Tahawa.
Exactly.
You disrespect you send Bopa. I mean, this is uncalled for. It's disrespect to all the journalists in the country.
Exactly.
Babukar Kamara, I mean, man, he's a brother, to be quite honest. He's a very good brother, but he should understand that he has colleagues that has worked so hard for Ghanaian football to be where it is today. So, man, fortune, when we league, Abib is right here. You can bear me witness. The GFF doesn't allow anybody to go and interview the coach, the winning coach of the league, Genju. They did it on only their media platform. Hana ñom dañ fa nekk pour ñu am boss ndalala ñom ñoo gën yeneen media house yu nekk ci dëkk bi ñoo xam ne ñu ngi toppa national team bi everywhere week in week out ñom ñoo leen gën ñu ngi toppa league bi ñu ngi sell the image of the Gambian outside ñooñu suñu waree ñëw stop their own colleagues to cover to interview the winning coach of the league on the ground ñu bañ ko ñu ne du xew suñ ñëwee ñu protect Tom Saintfiet loolu kan la jaal waaye journalist yi Gambian laay blame nag they are satisfied with it that's fine nañ demee noonu
go on son
man Tom lu ma am pour wax si Tom yeah short interview am bi Tom is clueless Tom xamul dara xamul sa lan mooy coach billahi wallahi tallahi how can you dégg ngeen Tom lu mu wax mu ne mun nga nekk best player in your national team and still you don't have playing time with your club loolu naka la xel di ko nangu aduna bi yëpp naka ngay mun a nekk best player of your country still you don't have minutes in your club loolu amut fen ñëpp ñu nekk di seetaan woo fédération bi woo aduna bi yëpp woo ñu seetaan national team si seen best player amut playing time si club am loolu amut Tom day fen rek la mu ba pare naa fi xala yaa ngi understand so Tom interview am yi la bu leen ko dee déglu Tom ak Baboucarr Camara dañ balaa gaa di ñëw si aya bi gars yi dañ dee toog ñu arrange everything lu mu war a laaj Tom ak Tom lu mu ko war a tontu ñu bindal lépp gaa ñëw GFF ñoo nekk di protect Tom ñoo wax ne Tom ne bu dee jox interview bu ñoo dee wax Tom ne bu mu jox interview media bi bu jox interview journalist kii so moo tax Tom audio la dee seen gars man xam naa journalist ñoo xam ne dañ dee call Tom ñu ne ko ne dañ la bëgg a am si suñu programme on video Tom daf lañ dee wax ne you will send a question for me on voice note then I will do a video for you 2 minutes comme Habib nu ko 2 minutes 3 minutes mu seen ko gars léegi ñoom boobu lañ nekk di play so loolu is a disrespect comme Habib nu ko waxee gis nga waaye Tom GFF ñoo ko may lu mu nekk di def nii so moo tax man léegoo-léegi dama dee mer Tom su call team am bi sax duma fa dee ko comment nit ñi dañ ma dee message si suuf sol yow lu tax nekk loo di wax léegi man a gaane dama sonna si affaire yi Tom ba pare du Tom de man ñu appoint Tom ñoom laa mere parce que man dama dee waxtaan ak gars so ñoom ñemewuñ Tom man noonu laa ko dee gis ñemewuñ Tom sax Tom lu ko neex lay def gis nga even suñu match buñ play ni Sénégal Tom kese ak fédération bi match bi du play Sénégal waaye gis nga di government moo taxaw gis ne match bi Sénégal la moo play mu neex Tom mu naxari ko Sénégal la ñoo play ba pare Tom munu si dara yaa ngi understand so xam na ne this is government and it's government who is going to finance the team it's government who is going to do everything so du fédération ñoo koy def so moo tax gaay munu ñoo am yoon pour yóbbu match bi Morocco wala feneen pour gaay lekka si padium bi so match bi Sénégal neexut gaay de GFF woo Tom woo ñoom yëpp neexut kenn waaye gaay munuñ si dara so moo tax match bi dem Sénégal secondly Tom lu ma wax su indi player A ñu wax player C su indi player B ñu wax dañ ko wax as far as nekkul di indi place ñoo xam ne ñu ngi am minutes with their club anytime su indi player boo xam ne amul minutes with their club nit ñi dañoo wax bul xool the names of this their team where they are playing waaye looy xool boy si ñu nekk di play indil ñu boy yooyu noonu ñu ñëw ñu deyal dëkk bi ñu am dara waaye naka ngay bàyyi Cuka mu ne Cuka dafa am injury loolu fen la Cuka amul benn injury Cuka mu ngi play dibi ñu ngi play ak South Sudan bi ak Congo yëpp Cuka mu ngi doon play ma ngi doon seetaan maajam bi Sweden I follow Swedish league almost I follow all the Gambian players even ñoo xam ne they mun play Gambia why they have European citizenship and they follow ñom yépp ñu nekkul di play xamna yépp so Tom nekkul di follow Gambian players more than us so munut wax fi dara lo xamne mun nañu mislead ana ñoo xamne de duñ dé follow Gambian players so Tom interview ami mom kay fogna interview ami kay dafa bay yoon waxut fi dara lo xamne dafa make sense daf ñu won like he is clueless he don't know nothing so man lola am ci luma wax ci
interview we said it all interview we kuko deglu rek said it all ne ki xamu dara is clueless.
How can you say you can be a best player of your country still you don't have minutes in your club like you said Sadio Mane is the best player of Senegal and you expect best player of Senegal didn't have minutes in his club. Example like Musa Barrow is our best player. Kal di nga mëna wax ne Musa Barrow du mëna am minutes clubam wala Omar Kodi. No. So man how ma kala nekk di wax fofu non is the best player of the country still he don't have minutes in his club. I don't know who exactly is referring to. Ak Yusuf Njie mom kay xamna ne Tom mom Yusuf Njie mom kay neexut ko. Am nga Tom sa affaire su ko neexut do play de lolu mom kay ci biti lay fanaan Tom da nga def lu mbuga pour nga mëna ñëw national team bi ba pare suñu national team waruta doxé non national team nu mu wara doxé dafa wara doxé according to merit waaye national team waruta nekk kuma buga kuma like ko mo ñëw kuma like ko do ñëw ndoy ñoom Ibrahima Dabo yes star la mu Roma waaye nekkul di play ba pare xale la tam man léegoo-léeg dama day xool Gambia rek comme Angleterre dañ dee yaakam ci tam ak suñu xale yi dañ dee yaakam ci trop si xale yi so xale yi dañoo ñëw rek ñu coogaay benn at ñaari at rek gaay dem si suuf ana Moussa Diawara tey Moussa Diawara dafa ñëw rek ñu juuxu ko fi musko inta ñëpp juuxu Moussa Diawara ñu indi ko tokki si kam bi tey ana Moussa Diawara kan moo ko nekk di wax kenn gisaatut ko yóbbu ne ko Bobista mënut a ko mu delluwaat Bologna mënut a am minute ñu yóbbu ko Crotone second division Serie B mënut a play foofu noonu so it's crazy so I think loolu tam dara la loo xam ne suñ koy si dañ ko war a bàyyi xale yi buñ dee yàkkamti si xale yi tam
Sol sorry that me kuntu the boy ma sana am na lu fi waxoon ma delluwaat back again about the game situation and then we don't have
because
wow, okay, no worries. So
yeah, just
thank you very much for coming.
Yeah, why da wara benende about election bi August ñëw na de
yeah
team restore la nekk team restore
nen soon next program we will be on that anyway.
Exactly boobu moom kay boobu dina ne de balaa moo ne sax nga ut keneen koo xam ne mu ngi team Kaba mu nekk si plateforme
no guy wante guy xam nga ñun moom dundee laale ñun because of documentary bi moom moo tax ñun suñ channel bi dundee laal boobu so try on na loolu but we can't get them missing million
coach Habib and Lamin
okay, no worries. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, I want to talk about Sana Lumfi Wahon about the game. Nene, we don't have a leader in the team. Kosma help it down because I wanted to talk about that as well. We have a captain, but we don't have a leader. We don't that issue with the halfback, Gomez. Lulu is a coach yen internally. We should if someone a leader would have tackled that problem simply. Lumo def mo nene. All right. Halfback bo wono flank player bo sa ñu dafa teggi Gomez. Daf ko day teggi mu dem. Légui li ñoo def mo ne dañ ko double team. Timba yow nga close fofu non. Place Timba Solmar moy wax ca fofu non and then we still have that back four. So the is in a hub because Newsom fly player be Baro do they watch us? Understand? So there is no one who could have helped this Gomez. I'm a flank player we watch it put Dimbeleko. So all we can do is simple. Then you communicate. This is where I'm coming from. If we got a leader, it's a simple internal discussion nominancy being filled. Nene, you know what? Legi hamga lu ñoo def. Timba yow del jegin Gomez. Flam player bi suku bité rek yow da nga fekk yow aga nga. Place Timba bi fofu nonu. We have Solmar. Muy wacca si on si defense bobu nonu. And then ki Omar Colley neka fofu nonu. Benen Ibu Touré have back left bobu nonu mu close. And then we have our back four again si fofu nonu. But like Sananungwa, we don't have a leader. So I'm on leader. We could have tackled that problem easily. Why just now with all the changes, with Amonsa, even with the changes that the coach did, key flank player bono that they depend upon you, that they do see box be like Muniko double team. It's easy putting you stop that thing. So coach just them, coach so munuta just. So I'm on leader say team bono. Muno no def that internal changes. Easy because Timbo just then get internal. Then they just flank play key mune right winger mune Steve nene boy dama say right bi nañ change yow ñëwal si left bi ñu switch understand lolu players si sen bopa if you have senior players or you have players you have they are leaders ñoom mun nañoo dictate all those internal palam yooyu noonu easy
Baba Madu ne ma koy woto it's Nia Janko leader that was only one of the problems we had. There are one of many that happens on the pitch. But coming here from Yamirek, that incident should have been only one. If there was a tactical discipline in the team, it should not have happened again. We can recall a little bit how the goal came by. It came almost the same area on the right side of the midfield, around the center circle. Saul, a player missed the ball. Saul, it was very easy, pre-bit. Then it was an open space. There was no communication. If there wasn't communication, that would have been easily dealt with. The goalkeeper was smart. Yes, he conceded a goal from distance. That is also debatable. But I think the shot in the first place should not have come in. But coming Kafunyam, the reason I said leadership is not only about that incident, but it's about different things that were happening on the pitch. The players need to step up. They need to step up. But coming Kafunyam, it all depends on what the coach, what he implore in the team. At this point in time, let's just leave it to that. The coach is the one who dictates the way he wants this team to play. And then he did what exactly the players would say we did what he wants us to do. Game over.
Yeah, okay.
Let me not cut you off, coach. What Baba is saying about leader. Your point of leadership in the team is different from what Baba is saying. So when you look at the previous team when we have Nda in the team, yeah, Nda has a big influence in the team, and like looking at other players, there's loads of players up to him, and he brings a lot to these players. But now, ever since he left, yeah, you can see like there's a massive gap between the players itself, and which we needed that in the team as well. The players know that. The players know. It's clear the players that they know the manager is not good. They know it. But
I completely agree. The leadership it's a problem. That's a red button right there. It's a red button right there. But when you said come Babalimo, we all on the same page on this leadership. But there is a red line that I don't want to cross. It's a new captain.
Red line
we have to let it stay. But moving forward, I think the players need to listen to each other and they need to have trust in between themselves. But there is lot of mistrust.
They don't even talk to you.
That's one
big
thing.
problem.
These players are not. I mean, with all fairness, I have to say this. We have to give credit to Nda. The way he comported himself, even when he's absent in the national team, in the national team, he spoke to every individual in the team.
Big time.
Okay? And he made it to understand it. we are here for a mission and we have to stick together to complete the mission. But now that is gone, that's history. Someone is there. It's not the only senior player in the team. I think the team needs to sit down as a team, iron out whatever difference, mistrust they had in between themselves. Because mistrust, it's not an outside. Can include, include from the outside. I'm not players. They would listen to some of them. I know that. They don't share anything. So here is the thing. And in one critical area, problem, and you can easily see it. They are not communicating.
Yeah, at all.
They are not.
At
So
all.
There's a red button right there. The red button low button.
Halal. Money. No, just lastly, because I'm going to get into this. Wanted because of time factor. It's better. I just want your opinion on this. There seems to be a worrying trend. We start league soon Gambian players are trying to shift allegiance to Senegal, which is weird. Why they should try even thinking about it. And the most recent one, Moy Lamin Jeju, a very technical player. I've watched him a couple of times. Déglu naa yenn interview I will play you one, sir. And actually he's been voted the best player in the league of Senegal or Senegalese league. So then go interview after game, and this is what he was saying, and let's just listen to what he says quickly.
Ni wax naan Lamine Diadio équipe nationale locale convoqué nañ ko ñi ne Lamine Diadio demul équipe nationale locale ñi ne Lamine Diadio jël na nationalité sénégalaise ñi ne Lamine Diadio Gambien la nan ngay tontu ñooñu.
waaw man tey équipe nationale locale jël na ma te demoon naa foofu si stage bi
échange national local du Sénégal yow demoon nga
waaw vraiment te yaakaar naa ne mooy préparation CHAN bu gaay di waajal si soobee yàlla cause yi su ma choisir parce que cause mooy choisir su ma jëlee dinaa dem défendre dëkk bi quoi parce que nekk na dëkk boo xam ne ma respecté kon man tamit naa leen mën a delloo jugal si loolu ma défendre seen couleur yi quoi.
donc Lamine Diadio est prêt à porter le maillot de l'équipe nationale du Sénégal.
waaw vraiment.
Félicitations.
Merci.
It's kind of funny with me because you don't have problem to play for Senegal junior level, but when you were here for Gambia, you talk about national level. You want to play in national team for the Gambia, which I think every Gambian who have them play. I'm not right to feel that way, but Senegal, none of them is talking about playing for the Teranga Lions. They are all going to play for the CHAN O under 20 team, but they are not using the same language when it comes to Gambia.
Why? That's the question. Why
No,
should they
no,
even
hey,
consider
no.
it?
For me now, Lee is getting too much now. I understand. We have Gambian players. For example, you have a Gambian player in Bayern under 19. Is it? You have players everywhere. So, Senegal squad bi moo la oo ñoom ñëpp kenn dofut di wax ne dafa squad bi dafa play ci team Aliou Cissé. They all talking about playing in the youth level. Su nekkoon ne Gambia dañ am youth tournament buy am under 20 ba pare oil la piguñ la su la pigutee ok da nga ne ok man Gambia piguñ ma then I can go mun naa play fu ma ne which you are entitled to, but right now there is no tournament bu war a am CHAN la te boobu septembre la players yi nga xam ne in Sénégal duñ mun a ñëw ñoom they cannot come and play for the CHAN team xanaa su fekkee ne ligue bi dafa tëj there is no football then mu neen la oo waaye nekkul ne Gambia dafa abandon this place. That's not the case. And then ñoom suñ wax they talk about the national team. They want to play in national team. You understand? But in Senegal, kenn si ñoom waxu to play in national team. They are playing for the CHAN team. So man lu ma waxoon lay wax rek man all these players I just wish them good luck. Any Gambian player bu bëgg a play Senegal man I don't have issues with that. issue bu ma waroon a am mooy su nekkoon ne yow you are so good comme Lamin Jaaju nu moo play nekka on a very good level Gambia di pick youth level under 20 or under 23 pickuñ ko suñ ko pickutee den dama ne non Gambia kon den ko boyab how come nga am a player like Lamin Jaaju so talented ngay pick under 20 or under 23 pickuloo ko so su demee play Sénégal he has something to back it up mun naa ne okay Gambian don't respect me but that word respect he's saying is to be underlined like he is disrespected in the Gambia that's not the case he is not being disrespected because number one nu mu tojee Sénégal ak tojee ko Gambia moom kaas la amee breakthrough am so ba pare nekkul ne ñun dañ pick team oyuñ ko that's not the case so you talk about respect nobody is disrespecting any of those players in Casa Sport we support them we love them but that word is underlined and feeling my respect if Gambia respect will no that's not the case he is respected in the Gambia because Gambians are all cheering him for them never Lamin Jaaju you ngi share his videos you ngi share his pictures even sa bu gaa bi ñëwee seen effet ko boobu noonu ñëw fii Gambia Gambians dañ gën a teeru leen you know and there's another Gambian called Abdoulaye Gassama you know Gassama is banging goals he scored double figures you know man I really don't understand what is this noise all about su dee Sénégal la youth level ngay wax su dee Gambia national team so xanaa ñoom dañ fa ne ñun suñ national team bi moom is just like ne ku ñëw play ñun we have some good players national team bi is good you know man I don't get it I really don't get it so man lu ma waxoon lay waxaat si different platform man dooyi lu ma leen éenee mooy ñu génne Casa Sport dem play in a very decent league yaa ma understand seen target sax ndoy seen target sax warta nekk ay national team for now they should get out of here because this year ñoom ñëpp they had a very good season Lamin Jaaju is I think he's the MVP of the league let them move out from here them Europe either France la or Spain or even Germany nga dem nga am a very good club nga put sa career on the right track ay yëfi play squad Lamin Jaaju is a kid kii xale bu dool he has a long way to go he really has long way to go so I think the target should be mu génn Casa Sport dem play a very good team in Europe su fa jógee balaa moo gën a fekka sax dafaa gën a focus fekka sax you have more money on the bank sax dafaa gën a neex sax pour play Gambia but for now I don't think the focus should be playing for national team definitely but whosoever want to play for Senegal man good luck because loolu you have the final say you and your family man moom anywhere you go I wish them good luck but saying like if Gambians don't respect him no I'm not buying that one definitely not
True.
Yeah, Baba. Law Foxy Lini, because this is it so the blame it if I demand back to the coach. I'm having a talented player like him. Hamnane we have a similar player in the team in terms come Germano from they play. But Ganao he's playing really well and he's playing regularly. Fogulane warona muna opportunities in national team.
Why come Habib nu ko waxee la rek su fekkee ne he's young dafa waroon na take time
but Baba foofu laa bëgg a emphasize why are they not putting the same energy to play in the Senegalese national team they talk up ñoom suñu jeewal du jeewal di Sénégal is it like dañ underestimate our national team or dañ fa ne ñoom suñu players good enough because comme ni nga ko waxee you have ñun suñu team bi the power of the team is the wing players ñoom Steve yëpp foofu lañ nekk we have over 8 ñoom Modou Baro we have over 8 white players
quite few Ndo Sanyang sa suma brother is similar like him Bamba like you know what I mean so we got a lot of quality players the thing is
definitely
most of these players ñu leen dee manage la ñoo leen dee mislead understand
exactly
ñoo leen dee mislead ba pare comme yow loo ko waxee Ndo bi targetam bi force as fu mu nekk ni pikam bi nii all he should concentrate mooy ne naka la moo génnee pour am a professional contract. Pour
yeah,
génn
to
I know
build
Sénégal
themselves.
dañoo professional league but naka la moo bàyyee Sénégal mu concentrate mu am a big
Exactly.
contract. So foog naa moom loolu mooy woonam the first target lu mu war a target waaye comme lu ma la ko expliqué la rek ñu ko dee manage ñoo ko dee mis ñuy manage ndoo yi nii ñoo leen dee dugal si yi nii. And the other thing is as well, we have a lot of ndoo right now. All of them get them in Senegalese league. It's because of our own problem. But now we push all these kids when you move. Understand? If we are better off, and before we have few Gambian, they go to Senegal, play in league. Man, I've been there. Man, we play Senegalese league for 2 years. CSS. Why? The guy just need a lulu once in a while. Then a player and they just knew them outside. But ñun su fekkee ne suñu ligue bi ñu ko organise mu ngi nekk ligue bu correct mu ngi nekk ligue yu baax mu ngi xam nga yëpp a ngi cool yëpp a ngi lifin we wouldn't have a lot of these quality good players ñoo xam ne ñoo rich and ñu dem because if we have suñu ñàkkee ndoo ñu ni mu dem we're gonna lose more kids ñoo xam ne they're all going to Senegal leagues and start playing in Senegal leagues so we have our own league waaye ñun suñu ligue bi to be honest Habib yow yang fa is still developed demut fen parce que léegi yoo xam ne xam nga rek ba léegi da ngaa dem match bi play ba 67 minutes lampay off ñu aj match bi the next minute nga foog ne the next weekend bi match boobu dafa complete nga demaat lampa off ñu lifin xam nga all this xam nga dema ñu ba pare the players themselves club yoo xam ne most dañ dee fay seen players yi xaruñ yooyu yëpp is discouraging xam nga so league bi there is a lot ñoo xam ne ñun suñu league bi dañ ko si war a def boo xam ne ñun we should keep our own Gambian lab own Gambian kids yoo xam ne they have to be proud of our league ñu mun a
Baba yaa biya xaw yéen a dugal ndóoy si dem Sénégal so yow bul woon bari
boy bari moom meetal de boy ndóoy bari juddoo guñ de ndóoy bari juddoo guñ time boobu
seen tànkay lañ soora
waaye ndóoy bari juddoo guñ
more on a more serious note and man Lamin Jaaju foog naa nit ñi dañ war a differentiate leena like right now anybody could advocate for the Okosi national team foog naa yow you are not even doing justice to Lamin he is too young to for him to be thinking that way I don't know what's coming over him I did not speak with him of late man I'm very fortunate to work with him
mu ngi change accent sax de léegi mu ngi wax ay mi ak waa
for a season and exactly question bi ma ko laaj
mbaa Baba change ñu toon tamit moom
Baba foofu la ala dégguloo olof bi seet yu moo laaka foofu la doore di ñëw ni tay bu may daan toog tam muy wax ne moom jabari sénégalais laa ubbi So yeah, why I think Ndobi it's like I'm not gonna say much on it because I am one person who have a regular conversation with him regarding his game because I was very fortunate to work with him. But it's been a minute. I did not engage him on some of the things that is happening. Usually, somebody say anything on social media, especially from him, even his status, the local call, Malako, why this, why that, and then Jokos my opinion. So I'm not going to say much on that. I think there is a publicity going around regarding him in this connection with Senegal and stuff. Right now, if he plays in the Senegalese CHAN team, he's, for God and heaven's sake, he's a home-based player. He's playing in the Senegalese league. He can't represent the Gambia in the CHAN team because they could play the Gambian league. So this is the difference. The CHAN team is a competition for the local-based teams. Okay? That doesn't mean that he don't have a chance of playing in the national team, does it? It doesn't. So whatever publicity is going around just to try to, hide the, to me it doesn't make sense. One thing he has to do is he has to be humble. He needs to be humble, focus on his game. He's just young. Like I said, I worked with him. He struggled to establish himself in the league. He's a talent. He's a great talent. But he needs to develop. Going into this Senegalese league, it was a big step for him. Now that he's getting in there, we build confidence. All I will have to say with him, he has to continue doing what he start doing. To be at the top, especially in Adam Torres season where you've been selected the best player in the league, It's not easy. It's a huge tax. The bar is set high. Where does he move from here? That is where I mean, going away. As a professional comes up. Yeah, he's been motivated. He's been motivated in Casa Sport, Lightning Co. The community liked him, which is good. You want to play in an atmosphere where everybody likes you. It's conducive for you. You feel at home. It makes your job easier. But here's the big thing: you don't just want to stay there for 1 season or 2 seasons. You want to play like Sadio Mane, Numstepe, or Mudem, Generation on the foot, Mudem. This is what everybody wants to do. So the target here for him shouldn't be like the Senegalese Chan team or the Senegalese national team, but to better his career in football. So Dimako I thought that there is a publicity, which at some point, could go to the favor of the player, but it's not always good. I Gambians in you show no didn't go to select Kofan. He's a youth player.
He's young, man. He's young.
We don't know what the under-20 coach had for him. No one knows. No one knows what the under-23 coach has for him. So to draw to the conclusion of saying the Gambians then can neglect or whatsoever, that's an understatement. Despite the fact that I think he is young, so high the Muko Duga win, interviewing the issue of these Senegalese then go respect of you. Those are not right words to use at that particular point in time. I think he needs to be more humble, more focused, more on his job as a professional, as a player, to be at the professional level rather than get into this media side of football and stuff. He's a great talent, no doubt about that. The first day I saw him on training, I was like, wow, he's a great. Balabo, I saw him playing for the zonal team in Manjai. He won the player of the tournament and stuff. Then he came to Elite. I worked with him. And he's an amazing personality. But he's young, and every young player goes through this kind of situation, especially when you feel that you are up there. So, but where you move from here, that's the big thing now. And I wish him success. He knows I want him to succeed. And I believe now he's a workaholic. He's going to work hard to be where he is. He works so hard to be where he is now, but I'm pretty sure that he's going to work harder to achieve, his dream of being a professional player, which is amazing. So, Gambians, and I understand that Chan Bilamin Jajmunta plays in Chan team in Gambia because they plays in Gambian League. If the Senegalese played him in the Chan team, that's fine. So be it. But if the Gambian needs him to play in the national team, he's still qualified to play. It's because they called him because he plays Senegal. So, with all these talks, I think it's very unnecessary.
Yeah, Lamin, yeah. To be honest, his chances of playing for Senegal is up to is zero actually. If he's thinking about the main team, because the national team, because they've got bunch of players out there who can't even get a call up. So
boy, man, buy because
this is Lamin Lively, like Lamin my roundup, and then that's it.
Absolutely, 100%. As coach just mentioned. For him, his case is just simple. They might hype him because the fact that he's kind of like a rising star. A rising star in the league, winning all the accolades, like winning player of the tournaments and player of the league, player of the season, and everything. Credit to him. I've seen him. I watch him. I watch some of his highlights. It's an amazing talent. But I think this is a player that need to be he need to be protected by his representatives. For him to make his journey to football. At this point, they shouldn't even be thinking about him going and playing for the national team. Looking at the standard of both countries, Gambia and Senegal, he is a youth team player. Senegal, he's got at the time he's got 0.000% chance to play, to even be in the squad, to make the squad, to frame the squad. The national team squad. Coming to Gambia as well, for Gambia to consider him, bring him into the national team, they're probably going to invite him for training, to come and train with them. But he can't make the selection. You cannot make the selection, in my opinion. But maybe for the U team, under 20 or on the 18s or under 23. But right now, for him, for Jaju, I think I can see him. He's got a chance to go abroad, to showcase his talent, and that's what everyone should focus on him. Even the media, they should focus on him. They shouldn't be even like distracting him who or where Gambia or Senegal where to play. Do you know what I mean? I mean that's all I see from him. To be honest, I'm not against his talent. He's a talent, but in terms of playing for the senior team, he's not ready yet. He's not ready, I would say.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you very, very much. As usual, it's always a pleasure. Baba, Coach, Musa, Lamin. Always a pleasure to have you on board. Unfortunately, there is a lot of things that we couldn't talk. Obviously, we've not been on for some time now since the AFCON, and that must have been the case. But then, as usual, it's always a pleasure. And then thank you very much for coming. And I'll see you next time.
Boy, thanks so much.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.